Hello everyone, this is Possessed Robot-WR coming to you with a commentary on this video specifically for Pixonic. This is test server 4.2 August 26, 2018. And I'm making this commentary on this video to show the problems that I have with these new robots on this test server. First of all is how big some of these robots are. Can't even get through the buildings. My advice to Pixonic, they need to give all spider robots maybe a second ability to be able to bring their feet in like a few inches in order to squeeze through some buildings, some barriers, no matter where they're at. Just like Raijin, they have a hard time getting through them, and their teammates have a hard time getting around them. So I think all spider bots should have the ability to climb up buildings and scrunch in their legs, bring their feet in at least 2 or 3 inches so they can get around the buildings, barriers and all that stuff a lot easier, and their teammates can get around them easier as well. I'm not saying every robot should have a second ability, but maybe the spider bots, all of them, definitely. Why? Because this battlefield is not meant for spider robots. As far as this robot right here, special ability, I think it's great. It's awesome. The only two things I found wrong with Invader was that it reminded me too much of Raijin and its legs. You have a hard time getting around. Even Raker, even though it's smaller, has a hard time. Give it a second ability to be able to scrunch its feet in closer to the body so that it can get around. Possibly even allow its teammates to get by them without needing to go all the way around. And I think all spider bots should have an instinct ability, not only to do that, but also climb up anywhere. Buildings, mountains, you name it. I mean, they're spiders after all. Now, that ability you just saw, Raker, I think it's awesome. Nullify the opponent's power. I love it. I think everything about Raker is perfect, except for the fact that it needs an instinct ability. I call it instinct ability to scrunch its legs in closer to the body, maybe 2 or 3 inches, and to climb up anywhere it wants. Any building, rock, mountain, I don't care where. The ability to climb up anywhere. And I'm not talking just Raijin, Wayland, or Invader. No, not Invader, but Raker here. I call it instinct ability. All spider robots should have the instinct ability to climb up anywhere they want, scrunch their legs in so that they can get around tight crevices really easy, and help their teammates get around them at the same time. That's what I call instinct ability, because it allows you to do both any given time. And it possibly even helps them to go a little faster. This robot right here, it's too slow. Blitz should be at the same speed as at least Gepard. Yeah, you heard me say it. Gepard, not Gepard, Gepard, or anything. I call it Gepard. Reminds me of a two-legged lizard. But anyway, this robot right here, Blitz, it should be the same speed as either Gepard or Stalker. Now, its special ability may give it that boost, but big deal. That's only for a certain amount of seconds, and I love its ability. It's awesome. Do I think it's the invincibility part? Well, maybe like 5 seconds, but that's about it. Everything else about this robot I love. Everything about Blitz, Breaker, and Invader. Everything else I have not mentioned. I mean, everything about them I love. I just think Breaker and Invader's feet should have an instinct ability to scrunch in, give it an extra button for that, to scrunch their legs in, or even be able to climb up anywhere. Same thing for Raijin and Fujin. They're spider robots. They should have the ability to climb up any place, scrunch their legs in when going through tight. Now here's a good spot what I'm talking about. This area right here, it's hard to get around with this robot. Take a look. Can you get through any of the buildings? Not very well. Raijin's even worse because of how fat it is with the legs. You can't get around very well. You need to fix this problem, Pixonic. The reason why I call this new ability, new second ability, Instinct, is because that's Spider's instinct. You scrunch your legs in. Now I love this part. This ability right here is so cool. The cooldown time could be a little less though. Maybe 20 seconds. 20 or 15, but it should have, every spider robot should have an instinct ability. Not only to scrunch their legs in, but able to climb up any place they want to. Because they got 4 legs and it's hard to get around. Now if you call Blitz a spider robot, I don't know. All I know is that its speed is way too slow for my taste. I mean, its base speed. Its ability speed is great, but its base speed is too slow. Especially for a robot called Blitz. I mean, you're talking about robots that are supposed to compete up against robots like Spectre, Inquisitor, no, especially Spectre and Stalker or Strider. How is Blitz supposed to do that if it's so slow? And how are those other 2 robots supposed to compete against Spectre if they can't even get around the place like this map? I think all spider robots with 4 legs should have a second ability called Instinct, where they can scrunch their feet in 2 or 3 inches, be able to get from any place and climb up anywhere they want, provided the person's holding the button down. Yeah, it's a button where you have to hold it down in order to get around. Now, here's what I'm talking about with Raijin. You can't even hardly fit through these buildings. How are you supposed to do battle in this battlefield with Raijin? It's one of the fattest robots in the game, and it's hard to get around. That's one of the major reasons why not many people played as much, because you can't get around. If it had instinct ability, you scrunch your feet in, climb up anywhere, then I'm sure, and even the hit point buff, excuse me, then I'm sure people would play it more. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. See that barrier in that building in front of you? You can't even get through that with the Raijin. You can get through that with most other robots except Raijin. Wayland, not even the new one, Invader. You need to give them a second special ability called Instinct. But it's not like the original ability where you just press it once. You have to keep the button down while doing so. Or provide a lockdown for it in order to get around places. See right there? You could barely fit into those two buildings with Raker. And right here, you can't even get through that hardly with Raker, even though it's smaller. You can get through that with other robots, but you can't with spider robots. They need to have an instinct ability. I call it instinct ability because it's instinctive for all spiders to be able to scrunch their legs in to get in tight spaces and climb up anywhere they want. They're spiders after all. That is what you designed them for. I don't care where you place the instinct ability that you can lock down. That's what you do. As long as you're able to get around between hard places and climb up anywhere. You know that power plant map? The middle building? You can climb up that with Raijin, Wayland, and Raker, but you cannot climb up it with any other robot, any other spider robot, which I find kind of stupid. Spider robots should mimic spiders. Not just the way they walk, but able to scrunch your legs in and climb up any place. They're spiders. I think if you did that for all these robots, a lot of fans would love it a lot more. I think fans would love them a whole heck of a lot more, especially Raijin, because it's an older model. Even Fujin, I think, well anyway, thanks, and please leave a like.